feel like I gotta be hanging out with Sam J.
Speak on it.
I just like bitches that be hanging out with my homies. I just want to be in that vibe. I want to be in that environment. Man, Sam J has been doing it big. Proud to have Sam J on this show right now. Come on, big round of applause. Woo! From Netflix specials. Saturday Night Live, one of my favorite skits. Was the Black Jeopardy. She co-authored that.
That's crazy.
One of my favorite skits ever, Jimmy Kimmel. She sat next to Jimmy Kimmel. He marveled at her talents.
That's dope.
Do you go by pronouns or am I good?
You good.
I'm good?
I'm out here just living free, baby.
Okay.
If I don't like it, I'll tell you.
Let me know. Season 2, HBO Max. That means Sam J finally getting money. Look at her necklace. Okay.
Look at that crew
The show
neck.
is called Pause with Sam J. Welcome her to the show, the one and only Sam J.
What's up? It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you.
Yes.
I just wanted to have you up here just to chill.
That's what's up. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Do you like to chill?
I like to kick it.
When did you discover you like to kick it as a kid?
I think, I was always kind of like when like adults and stuff would be having like their parties.
Yeah.
And drinking and stuff. I always like to try to like be in the mix. Like I was always like that kid. Like I wanted to listen. I would be in the argument, listen to what they argue about, and then trying to bring that back to my friends. Like my friends have no interest in these topics, but I'm like, like we should be talking about this. So I always kind of just like being in those type of environments where I felt like energy and thought was happening.
Yeah.
I always like kind of being in the middle of stuff like that.
Do you have like a standout memory from your childhood of observing the adults?
My biggest standout memory is always like hearing my Uncle Jay. He would always be like drinking and talking to his friends about politics. But he's like a real hood nigga, but he was very like politically in tune. So he always had like opinions about what was going on, and he would always be like, this was the same thing. You got to think about what they did in World War II. Them niggas was like, he was just like one of them
Best kind of dude, yeah.
And it made me like very interested in like history, politics, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at your trailer, and one of the things, and everybody, by the way, got an uncle like that. What's your uncle? What's your uncle's name?
Jay.
Mine is Uncle Stan. He's up on. He was actually in the war, so when they went through the war, they're very abreast on what's going on politically. But one of the things that stood out in your trailer, you were standing next to a Caucasian couple, and you said something about look like you guys just came from Eyes Wide Shut, which was a movie with Tom Cruise, right?
Wow.
Who else was in that?
Nicole
Kidman, right?
Former wife.
And that lifestyle, that's just like that that's that mysterious, like elitist lifestyle that people think is only in the movies. But I dare say that actually exists. Like those kind of parties, right?
100%.
Have you ever been to anything?
Nah, I ain't never been to one of those nasty, freaky sex parties.
You sure?
You
I'm
a
sure.
swinger, Sam?
I've been to some unmasked sex parties, but not no masked, no masked like tuxedo ones. It was just niggas in jerseys.
With Jordan. Okay, Sam, get out.
The dudes in jerseys?
Just dudes in jerseys, chicks in FUBU dresses, but I ain't never been to no mask and tuxedos and none of that.
You know that happens. Like I'm looking at you, like I see Peacock, I see what is it? HBO Plus, I see Netflix. Like you got all the streaming apps. You know what I mean? So eventually you're gonna be walking in rooms.
Where they doing that kind of stuff.
You ain't walked in that room yet?
Not yet. And I wouldn't mind watching. Just to see.
You watch? Like on a
I would
voyeur?
watch. I would observe. Like I went to this sex club in Atlanta before. This is where I went and seen all the dudes in the jerseys, because I just wanted to know like what really goes on in a sex club. So I went and I observed, and then I saw too much and I had to go.
Yep.
What do you mean, yep?
Because that's what happened to me. I got invited to one as well, and I went to be supportive of my friend, but it was all female. And I watched, but it was literally too much.
Yeah, it got too much.
It was too much, but I was trying to be supportive.
Did they have a buffet? The one I went to, they had food out too.
Okay, there was no food.
I was like, that's wild.
There was no food, but more disappointingly, there was no alcohol.
There was
I
no
sat there
alcohol?
with a cranberry juice, dying.
You know what? A lot of those places don't have alcohol because of the sex. They don't want to confuse the two.
Uh-huh.
It's like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they want
everyone
full
consensual,
consent. Yeah.
and they write
Everybody's
faculties
sober
and all that, so that they can't get in No
So
crazy
I got
stuff.
excited. I would thought it was food because I saw like those big dispensers with the spouts on them, and so I thought like, oh, there's hamburgers or hot dogs or something.
That was lube?
Yes,
Of
it was
course, baby.
lube. There was
It was
things
lube?
filled with lube. I was like, yo,
I got invited to recently. I got invited to go to a sex club. A friend of mine's invited me, and I think I brought this up before, but it's just not something that I can see myself.
You don't even want to see what's going on?
I do, but Sam J, I don't think I could just hang out in sex clubs. They're going to know it's me.
Yeah, you really should. I think your hat would give it
If I
away.
had to give it away, I'm not taking the hat off. I'm wearing
Oh, Sway about that life.
I'm wearing two hats that day.
No, I just have an image of this nigga swaying a hat with his dick out, and that
Oh,
is crazy.
Okay, Sway.
Don't be
Wow,
laughing
Sway.
at that image.
Wow, Sway.
Whoa, Sway.
Listen, keep both heads protected.
Keep going.
You can bring out the octagon, homie.
Well, I retired the octagon, Sam
Okay.
J. The octagon was just a little maneuver I used to practice as a young swiggity. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
The moves.
I want to talk about your rise.
For the no pun
Sam,
intended.
you had the moves.
The moves. Did you how did comedy seem like it's something that was just natural to you? Nah?
I wouldn't say natural. I would say I always wanted to do it. You
Okay.
know? I was always like kind of like a comedy fan and like all comedy. I watch everything. Like I watch Carlin, I watch Robin Williams, and I watch Damon Wayans and
Oh, okay.
like Sarah Silverman and Wanda Sykes and like Dominique and like, everybody on Comic View. I just like would consume comedy and like even comedic TV, like all the sitcoms and stuff like that, all the way back to like Bob Newhart and stuff. I just loved
Wow.
comedy. And I always like thought, oh, that would be cool. That would be a cool thing to do, but I didn't really see a path to do it. I didn't really understand like how you actually become that. Especially like growing up in the hood, I think we don't get a lot of information on how to do much of anything. You know what I'm saying? And kind of the way it is, like they sell everything to you like you just gotta get lucky.
Yep.
They don't really sell it to you like, yo, there's a path to this.
A
like
process.
You can go a process. They just like, they make you feel like you just gotta be funny one day, and if someone walks by like, hey kid, you wanna be a star? And you're like, yes. You know what I mean? So I didn't really think of it as a thing I could do because I just didn't really see any way to do it. And then at like 29, after just like floating around life, living in Atlanta for a while, doing a bunch of like jobs I hated, you know what I'm saying? All types of stuff, working at Starbucks, all types of bullshit. And like floating in and out of different entertainment things and trying to really play the background. You know what I'm saying? Like I was managing artists and all this stuff, like thinking, no, I'm not really a front person. I'm kind of the person that helps the front person. But now I realize that was just me running away from my own light. You know what I'm saying?
The
And
front
like,
person.
Yeah, just running away from like fear, really. So about 29, I was like, man, this can't be my life. I was working in a mailroom, you know what I'm saying? Like in a basement, horrible, no lights in there. You
Right.
just terrible. And I was
Killing
like,
your
this
spirit.
can't be the thing, you know? And I was like, man, I'm gonna just try it. I just told myself, like, yo, just try it. Just give it a year. That's what I told myself, like, give it an honest year. Like, don't give up. If it don't work the first time, like, put your head down for a year and just see where you get. And if you're further than you were,
Keep
just
pursuing
keep
it.
going.
What happened in that year that you designated?
Man, I went to my first mic. I got booed.
Okay, that's
Wow.
big. That's
Yeah.
a round of
Yo,
applause.
get it-
It's good.
get it out
to
the-
get
get
out
it
the
out
way.
Get it out the way early.
Get it out
Get it out the way early.
Got booed in the worst way. Then a kid was there. He told me about other mics. I started going like that very week. I just went. I kept going. I started like getting laughs. And then it just got exciting, like it got addictive, you know what I'm saying? Where like I was at work writing jokes and I couldn't wait to get off work to go try to joke, like that type of love of like, ooh, as soon as I had a new joke,
Got
I
hooked.
couldn't wait to run to a mic to do it. And I was just loving it. And then at that point I was like, if I could just figure out how to make what I make at work doing this, I'm good. I would be so happy. If I could make like $30,000 a year doing comedy and just pay my little bills, that would be like the best. And I just kept grinding with it, and then stuff just started opening up. Doors just started opening up, and I kept walking through them, and landed me here.
What was the biggest, like the first big door to open for you that made you go, oh, snap, this is getting real?
I got into this festival in Portland called Bridgetown. Comedy festivals used to be a really big thing and a really big way to like get in front of industry.
Yeah.
So I got into this festival called Bridgetown. It was in Portland, and all these Comedy Central people were there, and I killed. I did really well in the festival. And then from that, I got Comics to Watch, which is like this Comedy Central Comics Watch, and they do this big thing, a big showcase in New York for the New York Comedy Festival. And after that, and agents and stuff started talking to me and stuff, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something about to happen. And then very shortly after that, I got my first half hour, and I did a Comedy Central half hour. And that's when I knew, like, we in the game, we running.
Sam J, look at Sam J.
Sam, when you had that first instance where you got on stage and you got booed, for all of our listeners here where it's so difficult taking that first step forward and for the nightmare to become the reality, what did you tell yourself to not stop? Because a lot of people would stop early because they don't have that instant gratification.
You know what? At that point, I was 29 years old doing some shit I hated. Like, life had booed me. You know what I'm saying? So being up there, I was like, whatever, dog.
A boo?
Yeah, whatever, bro. We just gonna keep pushing. Like,
Got it.
I have been booed by life like 80 million times by that. So I just really didn't give a shit.
Right, what's 81?
Yeah,
right.
I didn't really care at that point. I was
Got
like, bro,
it.
there's nothing you can do to destroy me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, do you like that boo by life?
Absolutely.
I'm dying.
Because you, and I think it's good that you got it out the way early. You know what I mean? Because you learn how to navigate through the game, which brings me to my question. I was just telling Sway, Tracy, and the citizens here, Sway in the Morning, this past weekend for Father's Day. In fact, I saw Earthquake, Donnell Rawlins, Freddie Ricks, like, and Bill Bellamy. And I was watching all of them like perform at this beautiful amphitheater in Jersey. But then I remember seeing some of them at like bigger stages and smaller clubs. I was nervous for Donnell. We know him personally. Do you still get nerves like walking out on those stages and seeing people out there and hoping that your routine is going to work, your timing, your joke? Like, how do you make that adjustment? Because every crowd has to be different for you.
Yeah, that's really what it is. Like, it depends on the crowd, right? Like, now, like, I go do the Comedy Cellar. I'm not nervous at all because I do the Cellar all the time, and it feels like home. And I know whether this goes great or not, like, people who know I'm good at this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, there's ups and downs. You're gonna try new jokes. But like when I went out with Dave over the summer, and
that was a slight stunt,
yeah,
y'all.
Come on, let her
breathe.
She said Dave. She meant Chappelle.
She meant Chappelle.
They on a first name basis. She said
Chappelle,
Dave.
y'all. She said Dave.
Dave who Brown.
But the way she, you don't be like Dave Wilson. Like, which Dave are we talking about?
Sam J. What's Dave?
When I went out with Chappelle over the summer. And we were doing like arenas, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's like, it's Dave. So then I'm nervous. You know what I mean?
Got you.
Then I'm like, man, I can't mess this up. I don't want to bomb.
Speak on that.
I don't want to bomb in an arena. You know what I mean? Like, that would be trash. And you also like, Dave's there, Donnell's there. Like, sometimes Rocco show up or whatever, and you don't want to like look like you're trash in front of like the gods. So then it's like, there's a little different level of like pressure there. You know what I mean? Or like, be funny.
So do you adjust yourself on stage, or do you go backstage and you gearing up?
Backstage. It's all mental. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you bring that to the stage, you probably are going to mess up. So it's like you got to get that in order before you go up there, and you kind of got to go like to yourself, like, at the end of the day, I do this and I'm not going to quit. That's how I always look at it. Like, I'm never going to stop. So it doesn't matter if I fall because I'm always going to, it's forever.
You're committed.
And if I'm going to do it forever, sometimes it's going to work out and sometimes it's not. But like, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying?
And you're going to get
And then also I realized like, Dave don't even be listening to my sets. He don't care. He be off doing his own thing.
That ain't true.
That ain't true. I wouldn't go that far, Sam J.
You might make you think he ain't listening.
It's a reason you're there.
Yeah.
It's a reason you're there.
You got on Jimmy Kimmel. Stop playing.
Congrats.
You're on Saturday Night Live. How did that happen?
Man, like a lot of stuff in my career, it sounds like a humble brag, but it's really not. It just happened for me. Like stuff just kind of came together. Same way I got paused. It's just like being in the right place, keep presenting myself as my authentic self, and then things just kind of came. So I did Just for Laughs, which is another big comedy festival. It's the biggest comedy festival in the world. It happens in Montreal, and there was some SNL scouts there. And they saw me, and they were like, hey, we like her audition. And I hadn't even think about SNL. I didn't think I was like an SNL person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very blue. I'm raw. I'm hood. I was like, I just don't see myself in this world at all. I don't do sketch. You know what I mean? But once the opportunity came, it was like, maybe that's something I should be doing. Like, it kind of entered the thought in my head. And then I auditioned, and they liked my audition. They flew me out to New York to audition for Lauren, and I auditioned for Lauren, and then they called me, and they were like, hey, we know you auditioned to be cast, but would you mind coming to be a writer, and let's see how that works, and then maybe we can transition you to cast at some point. And at first, my feelings were a little hurt, like, damn, what y'all trying to say, you know what I mean? But also, I was like, let's be realistic. You didn't even think you could fit in this world at all. You've never done sketch in your life, so it's not crazy for them to say this to you, you know what I mean? Like, be like a reasonable person. And then it was kind of like, I don't know, the opportunity just came at the time it needed to come. It just felt right. I was going through a lot of things personally. Me and my ex-wife had split up, and like I was living like with nothing. She took everything. All I had was like a futon. Wow. And I was just in LA on a futon, and my fiance had came to like hold me down and just like be with me as a friend. We've been friends. We've known each other for like 13 years.
Beautiful.
And she came like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Writer.
Yo, that's what y'all do.
And we was just thugging it. And then when the SNL call came, it was like fake, because they was like, yo, could you be in New York in like 3 days? And I was like, actually, yes, because I have nothing. Like, I have nothing to move. I have nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, man, an opportunity to learn something I don't know how to do, which is write for TV and do it in the best school possible. Like, SNL is like the Harvard of this. And I'm going to get paid. And I get to be in New York and do like comedy in New York, which is like the highest level of comedy you can do.
Absolutely.
So it's like, this just seems like the right move at the right time, and so I came.
Do you mind sharing a little bit of the process? Because now you mentioned an audition again for Lauren Michaels. She's referring to. She's on a first name basis. Everybody.
She did Lauren. We didn't know what Lauren it was, y'all.
Yeah, Lauren Michaels.
So it could have been Lauren Hill. We don't know. Knowing her, it could have been Lauren Hill. You know.
Doing this for Lauren Michaels and walking into that audition room, what was that process like?
Well, you know, it was like with all these different auditions and stuff, I started to learn to just make it as much normal for me as I could make it. Because it's not set up in a way like, in my opinion, for you to succeed. It's always so fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, I got to get up. I got to do stand-up in the middle of the day, which is not when I do stand-up. I got to do it in this little studio, because you're in AH, right? You're in the main studio. You're on the home stage. And then it's just like a table. And it's Lauren and just the producers. And nobody else in the room. And they just watch you.
Are they talking?
They don't laugh. They don't talk. They don't do nothing. They just like stare at you. You know what I'm saying?
They don't give you direction or?
Nothing. They just get up. You do your 8 minutes or whatever. I think it's less than 8, like maybe 5. And then that's it.
They don't applaud?
Nothing.
Wow. But you look at them, or you're supposed to act like there's mad people.
You just go. Like, you just go. So when I got there, it was like crazy energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's kind of locked off in these rooms that I later learned are the dressing rooms. And everybody, the energy feels nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody feels
it's a big deal.
edge. It's a big deal.
It could change your life.
Yeah.
For sure, I'm not knocking them, but it's like, that's not how I perform at my best.
Yeah.
So I looked around at that, and I was like, I got to get out of here. This is crazy. So I tapped an intern or an assistant or somebody. I don't remember who it was exactly. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go downstairs. Could you just like text me like maybe 5 minutes before, and I'll just come up, because this is like, and then you're just locked off in a room by yourself. Yeah. It's weird. So I went downstairs and I went to the bar in 30 Rock, and I ordered a drink, and then there was these older black women sitting at the bar, and they started talking to me, and they asked me what I was doing here, and I told them I was auditioning, and then they were like, oh, baby, you gonna get it, and good luck, and we were drinking together and laughing together, and then I just went up, and I just went on stage, and I just went. And it felt like just being at a comedy club. You know what I'm saying? Because I kind of pulled myself out of the crazy. And then I could see, like, Lauren was chuckling. He don't really ever laugh. But even if you get a chuckle, you're like, whoa, I did something. And I got up feeling like
You did well.
I did what I was supposed to do. You know
There you go. Quick round of applause.
I love those angels along the way. 2 women at a
Me
bar.
too.
Those black women. That was your angel. For real.
angels.
Because you needed that release
and
of
it was
that
mama love too, and I needed that. Like,
You needed
just,
it.
like, you good,
You got
and you
this.
great,
Aunties.
and don't worry about it. It was
You got
like
this.
good vibes.
You know what I noticed? Throughout this entire journey that you've had, you never mentioned social media. And we're like not used to hearing that right now.
I'm not a social media person. I know.
Yeah.
It's a yeah. I'm just not that. And I didn't want to try to like make myself that. I remember very early on, like my mans, you know, when I was first just in the hood, let's doing my thing. It was like, yo, you got to start making the videos. And I was like, I'm just not that just doesn't feel like me, and I didn't want to ever like force it.
Yeah.
So I just didn't do it. And even now, sometimes my manager's like, you have to do more of it. I'm like, yeah.
But I think that's such an important note. Like, that's refreshing, because for a lot of folks, it feels obligatory, and then they go on there, and then you can become like someone else. But there's always multiple routes to success.
Yeah.
And you could do it the traditional way, and it will work still.
Yes, you definitely could do it the traditional way, and it'll work still. And also, I mean, it's like, you just got to do what works for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a big believer in, like, follow your shit and don't ride anyone else's wave. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not my wave. I don't knock people who do it.
Yeah, right.
But it just wasn't my wave, and it didn't feel like a suit that fit me. So I was like, bruh, I don't want to put this on. And then it's also like, motherfuckers be in a rush on dogs. And so, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like the fast way. So I had a lot of friends who went that way and was kind of dissing me. Like, you're over here, like, you doing these shows for kind of hardly no money, and I'm over here getting money now because I got this following. And if you just filled your following, you could get to the bread. But it's like, you can't really chase the bread. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have to chase the dream.
Yep.
And then let the bread come to
and you got a whole different type of experience.
Yo, I like that. Repeat that. You can't really chase the bread.
You gotta chase the dream, and then the bread will come to you. And it's like, now the career I want, I have. I didn't, because I feel like that way too, you could set yourself up and you're always chasing bread.
Yeah.
Now you hustling your dream.
Yeah.
You chasing $2,000 all over the country.
Right.
When it's like, I really wanted to be a creator. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted the ability to make the things I wanted to make the way I wanted to make them. And now I feel like I have that. You know what I'm saying?
Sam J.
Very inspiring, Sam.
Let me ask you this, being with Dave, because am I allowed to say Dave too, or do I gotta say Chappelle?
Chappelle. You
Okay.
should, yeah. He know you by Sway, so you good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. My bad. He took a lot of backlash from the LGBTQ plus community, and you're from the community. Did you take any backlash?
Yeah, for sure. There was definitely people who, you know, DM'd me or go on my comments and blast me for being friends with Dave, or be like, how could you talk to him, and how could you be around somebody like that, and all of that. But I don't know. I feel like that's just indicative of the times we're in, and like kind of also why I created Pause the way I did. I just feel like people are just so like lines in the sand and so like
this
dug in.
Yeah.
And there's no like speaking across the lines, and there's no like, you could be friends with someone and not agree with every part of what they're saying or doing, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, intention, I think, matters. Is someone truly out here being hateful, or do they just think in a way you don't necessarily agree with? And like, that's fine, and that's how dialogue happens, and that's how progress happens. So I kind of just ignore that stuff. And also, I'm not a person that bends to the mob, because once you bend over for the mob, you bent over forever.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Come on. Say that again. That's another one. That's a
like
Sam
that.
J. quotable. Say that again. Once you bend over.
Once you bend over for the mob, you bent over forever, but it's real. You know what I
That's
mean?
real.
Like,
Like
if they feel like they could get into your life and tell you who your friends could be, and now you making public statements, excommunicating people and all this madness, now they control you. You know what I'm saying? What's going to stop the 2 years from now being like, your fiance? And I'm like, now I got to break up with my bitch.
Gotta break up with y'all.
That's crazy.
My bitch. Yo, you so goddamn gangster. She's right there. What do you mean? That's your queen.
That's crazy. Like,
I can't say that.
we
Can
are
I say
two
that?
women. We're two women. You know how much she calls me bitch all day? Bitch,
Call
get
you
this.
bitch all
Bitch,
day?
get
But
this.
y'all dating. I mean, that's your fiance. I couldn't call my fiance
Everybody
bitch.
got their own privileges.
That's her
You know what I'm
language?
saying?
Okay. All right. Shit.
Don't try it, Sway.
I was going to
Don't
try
do
it.
it. I mean,
Hey,
Hey, you got to do what works for you, baby.
Okay.
Don't.
Yeah, you my homie. I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it, y'all. I couldn't do that. Sam J,
homie.
talk about Pause. Pause is a very unique I call it a project. Because that's what
That's fair.
That's fair. Okay,
Yeah.
Pause is a very unique project. I love what you're doing with it.
That's fair. I just wanted to make something different, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was looking at late night opportunity. Well, the opportunity came through Prentice. Prentice had like
The producer.
a situation over at HBO, and he wanted to do a late night show, and he didn't really have a face for it. And my agent and his manager were really cool. And his agent liked me. I was into my comedy and was like, maybe Sam's the right person. And he didn't really know too much about me, but he knew a little bit about me. And then he saw my special, and he was like, I want to meet with her. And we met a few times, and we just vibed. And then he was like, yo, I want to do this with you. And then, like, I had a little bit of a relationship with HBO, too. And they were like, yo, we like Sam. You know what I mean? And I think that's a testament to you keep working, you keep tapping different people. Then when it all comes together, it's like you're not an unknown. People kind of know about you. So that helped. You know what I mean? And they just kind of just gave me the freedom to make the show I wanted to make. And I just wanted to make a show that was doing what I wasn't seeing, which was like honest conversation. I just wasn't seeing that. I was seeing a lot of, again, like division and nothing in the middle where most of this stuff lies, and just nothing was touching the gray of it. You know what I mean? And also I wanted to see a show that like represented the people that I talk to and their opinions and their thoughts. I just feel like a lot of times in late night, especially politically driven late night shows, they always get these like talking heads and authorities, and they're the same talking heads and authorities, and they're always talking like about niggas and well, this is what's going on with jail niggas and this is what's going on with, but they just never talk to the people that are actually going through it and ask
that are
them
actually there.
what's going on with them. So I just also wanted to do that. That's why there's not any celebrities really on the show like that, and I don't interview celebrities because I was like, I don't know, there's enough of that. I don't really care if you like pizza or nothing like that. Like I just want to like.
I kind of like pizza though.
Shut up, Sway.
This wanted
Actually,
to
I
get
don't
into
eat pizza.
something else, you know.
Yeah.
And
I lied about
break
that.
format.
Break format. You do that really well, and I think I want to commend you on that because you created something that's really interesting to me. The questions you ask don't seem preconceived or pretentious, you know, in the response that you get. Sam J, I rock with you. I don't know if you feel my fanage right here. I've been fanning on you. I've been fanning on you for a second.
And you came in with great energy.
You came in with awesome energy.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You tell a great story. Your journey is admirable. And I think a lot of folks will be able to learn even in this conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? Some of the gems you're dropping. You know, you're looking at OGs right here. So whenever we get excited and stimulated, you know, it's like, you know, we flocking to you like
this
Carol
is
Ann from
a
Poltergeist.
crazy honor. This is a crazy.
Wow.
No,
Thank
for
you.
real. I mean, like I was born in '82. I grew up.
Oh, okay.
So
I grew up on this. You know
it's
what I'm
like
saying?
Uncle Sway to you right
Yeah.
Are you
This
drunk,
is
Sway?
like a big honor.
Wow.
Like, oh my God, I'm between Sway and other people.
now. You know, that's the first ever reality TV star in
Real
history
World.
right here. Yeah.
Real World New York.
There it is.
She was the first star of the first season of Real World.
And the first, like, because I'm a big reality TV head, the first, it was like, here's a real black person.
Yeah.
I'm actually dead. We all know what you mean,
Here's a real black person. This is cool.
I tell Sway and Tracy all the time, Sam, I accuse my parents of raising me too black. Like, I'm super black. I didn't know who, like, Journey and Bono, and I didn't know, we didn't grow up in that. I kind of felt what you said about being home in those house parties and Spades and Newports and Salem's and Cools and
brown
like
liquor
and brown for real and like
and
good
cigarette
times
butts in the liquor
and the Jeff, like I grew up like that in a 2-parent household, but it was fun and it was hood and it was great. So I didn't know who like Bon Jovi and all that shit was, so I got to college.
But you were great because it was like your energy was authentic and real the whole time, and it was like, oh, here's a real black person, but you were open to the experience.
Yes.
But you were also like, we're not gonna be doing disrespectful stuff, and it was like fair.
That's what's
Absolutely,
up.
thank you.
There it
That's
is,
pretty
man.
accurate.
Well, you were first of your kind too.
Yes,
I appreciate
Sam
that.
J, and we appreciate you. Much more success.
Thank you.
Right, and then people, y'all want to watch Pause? It's on season 2 with Sam J on HBO Max. What's next for you? You writing a movie? I see you writing a movie. You writing something?
I'm working on some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe another series. You know, another special. Hopefully.
Okay.
Soon.
Heather be acting too. She just did a movie with what's B-Boy Blues.
Yep,
Yeah.
I sure did. Yes,
Yeah, it's on BET Plus.
Was it fun?
it was super fun.
Yeah.
But I always try to have fun no matter what I'm doing. Even if it's work, I just try to, like you said, you get yourself together backstage and just go have fun. Even if it's serious as hell, I'm just going to go have fun.
You got to, or you'll be in your head the whole time.
The whole time,
yeah,
Sam.
like freaking yourself out.
So
For
she's
real.
a writer in a part, though, Sam. That's all I'm saying.
I got you.
Okay, there it
Everybody
is. Right there. You
says
see that?
so.
Yeah. Get Tracy some money too. All right. All right. We got Carolyn.
Carlin.
Carlin. I know Carlin. How you doing, Carlin?
That's the homie.
My bad, Carlin. From New Orleans.
Knowledge.
And Sway, you can't say bitch. I don't care how many checks you write. You just don't say bitch.
Don't say bitch, right, Carly? You notice I didn't say it. I almost said it, though. It's empowering when you say it, though. Something liberating about that word.
You're from Oakland.
And I'm from Oakland.
It is.
I could say it in a nice way, too. I got a nice, B word.
You get your Draymond and you and want to just say fuck them. You can't say bitch.
I can say fuck them.
You can say fuck them.
Fuck them. Okay. Yeah.
Fuck them.
How'd I do? My fuck them is pretty good. Okay.
And Sam,
that was solid.
I want to commend you because all the nuggets, like they said, you dropped. I mean, it was a whole, not even a TED talk, a Sam J talk. Because everybody that needs to know not to bend over, especially to the mob of social media, but that you reminded people that you were up and ready to go. You put in the work, doing what you love after you did a bunch of other bullshit to get you prepped. But then also you let people know you can't have a bunch of baggage. You can't have a bunch of baby mamas. You can't have a bunch of baby daddies. You can't have a bunch of bullshit because when it's time to roll, you were ready to just up and roll and say, fuck it. I ain't even got to sell a bunch of shit. I already did that shit. She took that shit, but she still my bitch.
Carlin off the you broke that down, man. Wait, hold up. The whole time we've been doing this interview, the headphone volume was down?
Yeah, but I could hear y'all.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't hear when she started talking.
You didn't hear Carlin. That's funny, right? Carlin start cracking up. Yo, you know what? Make sure you follow Sam, okay? Sam, how can people follow you?
I will. And I'm glad
she's
that
not good
it
on
will always be a surprise when I see her because she's not putting a bunch of shit on social media. So it's going to be refreshing when I see her.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I love.
What's your stuff? She don't use it a lot. Yeah, she doesn't use it a lot. What is it, Sam?
That's what I love.
J Comic. On Instagram and Twitter.
At Sam J. Comic.
Look how simple. Look, Heather, look how simple that is.
You know I'm a fan.
She doesn't care.
It's simple. She said it's simple. You know I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Carlin, thank you. Carlin, you a citizen. Carlin, have a beautiful day. You all right with me, Carlin? Sam J. Hey, we got to come see you. A lot of times we do comedy shows ourselves with broadcast live. Like we like to do like old school radio and broadcast. Live from Caroline's. I'd love to invite you if you're free.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course, man. I'm in the city for sure.
Okay,
I would
cool.
love to do it.
Okay. When I said if you're free, she cringed like, damn, I'm unavailable.
Nah. I do be busy. I know. Yeah. But nah, I'm down. For sure, I'm
cool.
down.
Well, Sam J, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes.
Great combo.
Absolute pleasure.
This sounds so much better.
The whole experience would have been better, yo.
Yo, Sam like, I'm on the radio. She's like, I'm on the radio, y'all.
Yeah, now radio.
Yeah, you can hear the applause now. You don't even
I didn't hear none of
that shit, right?
No sound
We had all kind of sound effects going on. When you said you knew Dave, we had to. That's what we played. You didn't hear that? Hit her with again. That's what you had. I watched her say you know Dave. You know when I was
on.
There we go.
All right.
You missed the whole show.
Yeah, well.
You can watch yourself back.
Now I got to come back.
Absolutely. Sam J, man, give a big round of applause.
Dope.
Big things coming. Make sure y'all watch Pause. HBO Plus.
Yeah.
HBO Max. HBO Max and HBO. Sway been playing me, but let me say that. HBO Max and HBO. Regular HBO every Friday after Bill Maher at 11 o'clock.
It's different.
You know why? Because I've been drilling like Paramount Plus in your head and BET Plus. That's why. I'm sorry, Sway.
She's on HBO.
Yeah.
HBO.
11 o'clock Friday
That's different
after
kind
Bill
of
Maher.
money.
Get it?
Different. That mean they care. Your show is
Get
a driver.
it?
See, I know how it works. You know, I've been working
The lead-ins
TV
and the
for
drivers.
Yeah. You right after Bill Maher, they need you to clean his shit up.
I ain't say that.
Sway did.
They need you come in after balance Bill. Now Bill's the homie, but they need you to, to balance.
New energy.
New energy.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it. Sam J. Woo! Sway in the Morning, Shade 405. We coming right back with our salutations. Sam J, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to shout out?
My beautiful queen, Yaya.